this well of intellectuals called Walter Sisulu University. Walter Sisulu University has traditions of technicons because it is a major, of which technicons are the industrial pride of the country, and where the industrial pride of the country is supposed to be triggered. If we then say our graduates are struggling to get jobs, we should ask ourselves, Vice Chancellor, as to how are we embracing our technicon countenance, our technicon being. That in as much as we build the research phase of the university, but do not neglect the technicon phase, because it is the one that will enable the university to unlock the industrial doors for the employment of the graduates that are sitting there. Now, how do we play a role as the university as to transform this sector not to resemble the apartheid system? And what are the strategies of the university as it is directed to rationalization? What are the strategies that is it bringing forward? Making it a point that the system that is put in place enables the graduates, the cohort of graduates that is sitting there, being able to attain jobs. And that is able to amplify the system that is being used within the university. And we must not miss the opportunity, because the technicons had a role on the economy and the industry of the country. That is why many people from the rural sides of the Eastern Cape came to Eastern Cape, because Eastern Cape had more industrial zones, more industrial parts, which enabled the country to amplify, or rather the province to amplify its economy through the industries. Then we should take pride of our technicon identity. It must be delighting for you parents to be sitting here watching your children wearing this regalia. Because not so long ago, you were the ones encouraging them to go to primary school, go to high school, wearing school uniform. Nisiwa nivuka nabo. Belala bengatyanga but nibathume esikolweni, with no hope of what's going to happen tomorrow. It must be delighting. And that you, class of 2022, should be proud for the motivation that is being put by the parents on your lives. That in spite of the situations from home in the background, you do not identify yourselves nezimo zasemakwenu, but nisebenzisa imfundo njenge bridge towards the promised land. And that you should be proud of. Even though we are still wearing these academic regalias, we are still faced with so many challenges. Unemployment, poverty. Silapha nje, when we go out of that door, we are forming part of unemployment list. Statistics unemployment senyukile because we have graduated. Which then speaks to the university and speaks to the graduates that one, we should not only be focused on being employed, but what is it that you are able to do? What is it that you're able to innovate? Discovering your skill, so that in the outside world you do not get dependent on employment, but make ways so that you on your own can be able to employ others and create jobs. It comes to the point that sithi siphuma esikolweni, we have graduated today. Sithe xa sijikela phayana asanikwa iimpepha zethu, certificates. box endiyiphetheyo phaa empty, it has no certificate. Students were funded during the course of their courses. From first year, they finished their qualifications record time, funded by NSFAS and other stakeholders. They have not lost funding in the process. But when they graduate, they don't get their certificates. In platforms of discussion with the university, we have made it clearly and thoroughly so that the students of Walter Sisulu University need their certificates. Because you cannot be able to expect a student to repay what they owe to the university unless they go to work. And for them to go to work, they need their certificates. We've then made proposals to the university because sizamana nokuncedisana nomntana omnyama. Ukuba i-university mayincedisane nathi. Ukuba at least Mama Vice Chancellor nisiphe nje ikopi ene watermark e-university. Ukuba nje sikwazi ukuyophangela. Sibuyeke sibhatale i-university. Ngoba kaloku mama wami aba bazali bahleli apha balinde nje imbuyekezo. Sifuna ukokha amakhaya ethu. Sifuna ukufundisa abantu asemakwethu. Lonto ke ayinokwazi ukwenzeka unless we are able to attain our certificates. As I'm closing, discussions, engagements have lapsed. We need implementation. Ndiyavala. Yanga uThixo noxolo. Angenelele enhlizweni zale university. Sifumane izertificates zethu.
Theni nje ndingazibuliseli ebeke wanimosha upremier kwenye campus. I think bekupha bekusegcuwa uthi xa ethetha athi elinganisa phofu ikumkani athi zonke into ezilapha zezam, athi nentombi ezilapha zezam. Qha ke ngoku into ayilibeleyo into yoba bagraduatile, abasezo students zi-graduates ngabam ngoku kuba bathetha nge-convocation. Andizuba mde and loo nto ndincedwe zizithethe bezilapha phambi kwam, zayithetha yonke into ebendizayithetha. Into endidla ngozicela xa ndilapha kwipodium ziyenziwa ngabanye graduates. Bendicele into yokuqala into yoba ze bathi xa befika ezilalini zabo bamise qelele kunamakhaya abo, bathathe iwalk ukubheka endlini kuyiphume ilali yonke iyizelwe. Ndilibalisile ke ibali elithi bathe xa bephendula abanye bathi kungasandiligeza kweyam ilali. Savumelana into yobana ngaba asina-response incam kule nto ngaphandle kuba sithi fire, fire to the devil, fire. undithumelele ke omnye ividiyo ndibonisa into yoba uyenzile yena loo nto. Ndiyaqonda into yoba inoba uthembele nguThixo uba abazumenza nto. Ividiyo yesibini endiyithunyelweyo ngoba abantu bayamamela, mhlawumbi inoba nani ndiyawundimamela. Ndithe bathi xa besithi chu begoduke besiya endlini bathoba umculo apha emotweni. Bavula ingoma eyodwa bathi mikhulu ingummangaliso imisebenzi yakho. Yenziwe loo nto ke ndiyavuya ke. Madam Vice Chancellor, DVCs, members of council present today, members of the institutional management, academic and non-academic staff, student leadership and labor, guests zethu, parents and family members, and most importantly, the class of 2022. A special congratulatory message to my brother, President Mangisa, who also graduated today. We thank you for the passion in which you raised the issues of the certificates. Your position is not far from the position of convocation. And as you join convocation today, please be part of a big meeting that is going to be held on the 25th of June so that we discuss these issues and then your voice is heard. It is an absolute honor for me to take this podium today and deliver this message on behalf of convocation. Igama lam ndingusandile Phuthi. Ndingunobhala wayo le convocation ekhokhelwe ngu-Advocate uNgcuka Ithobi. I-convocation ke mhlawumbi kwabangayaziyo, it is an army. Uyayibona le army le nansi i-convocation. But beyond yourselves, it is an army of more than 30,000 former students and graduates zalapha kwaXhamela. Sibe ngabantu ke abakhathalelanayo, abathandanayo, abagadanayo into yoba samka kwaXhamela ingaba siphi senza ntoni na. Ukwenzele sikwazi ukuncedisana. Ngoba kaloku idabi nedabi phofu enifikela sikulo. Lidabi elithethwa kamandi apha ngupresident ethi asinamali, asinalutho, asinamisebenzi. Uthi xa ethethe ngenye imini athi uthi so ufumana umsebenzi uaplayele usithi ufuna i-degree yale nto uyifundeleyo. Uthi xa ufika kuthiwa EP experience. Ungayazi uzayithatha apho ubugrade izolo nje. So idabi esinalo lijongise kwi-public and private sector to say can is-absorb in the system. Hayi asikafuni uba ngo-chief director, okungeni sicela nje i-internship. So nizama ukuthi nisifumana sikwelo dabi ke sifuna ukujoyinwa kwelo dabi. Ngoba imbi into simane siyibukela nithathane nibe babini niyome ebhisho okanye ezirobhotsini phakathi i-plug cards nithi ndinayo le degree. Ndicela nje okomsebenzi. Noba bode bathi noba ngowantoni kodwa imali ezikhutshiweyo uba mawube yi-internal audit uthi noba ngowantoni. Ndingaphinde nihambe nodwa ukuya kwezo robots ikhona ezi-convocation. Kodwa ke ndiyayazi kobo bunzima ze nithi xa nibufumana utshilo umfundisi kusasa. Ningalahli ithemba nithi nje nina uYehova ngumalusi wam. Andisweli lutho. Ezi sessions zalapha eBCM zindenza emotional. Ndingade ndicinga fana ndingumfundisi indlela endithetha ngayo kamandi kam. Zindenza emotional because I know many of you. I know what you had to suffer and sacrifice to get here. I know how it was difficult for some of you to continue with your studies while struggling to find work. I am inspired. I am inspired by some of you who managed to juggle between the current jobs and the demands of your studies. Some here are my colleagues at work. Yet, here you are today, against all odds, draped with nothing but success. Your story is not necessarily unique. This is the case across all our campuses at WSU. It is a story of a black child, a story of a black family that prays, a story of a black family that believes, a story of a family when faced with difficulties would not hesitate to say, uYehova ngumalusi wam andisweli lutho. I see your parents and family members. These are the people who carried you through the stormy seas. People who raised and supported you to more than you can be. These are the people who believed in us and supported us through it all. For that we say, thank you, Bazali. I see your lecturers who played a very important role in your success. We salute them and say thank you for your support and producing professionals out of us. Those of you who have been watching, I know that you have been watching some sessions online, would attest to the fact that our message has been one, it has been clear, and it has been consistent. And this is what we said to the class of 2022. And as we say it to you now, continue to be strong and courageous. When you do fall, please pick yourselves up and never give up. Always strive to be not only good citizen of this land, but to contribute in the shaping and forging of a better society. This is why Premier talks about you not to be counted amongst the perpetrators of gender-based violence. We ask you never to give up, even in the face of problems that seem too much to overcome. You have to do it. With you, failure is not an option. You have to succeed. We want you to go out there and contribute in the fashioning of a better society. Be part of an army of citizens who strive to make South Africa a better place to grow our children. As convocation, we're not only hopeful, but we promise to do everything within our power and ability to offer any assistance that you will need. As I said before, do not be counted amongst the perpetrators of gender-based violence. Do not be counted amongst the corrupt. Do not be counted amongst those who exploit workers when you find jobs. Do not be counted amongst those who neglect their families and communities when you are successful. Kaloku benichilo nje. Nathi into yokubana ngabe nifunde nifuna ukubuyela ekhaya nokwakha amakhaya enu. Carry the WSU brand high. We are proud of you. Get out there and achieve great things for WSU, your families, your communities, and most importantly for yourselves. You are now brothers and sisters. In your different political organizations, you are brothers and sisters. In the sports that you played, you are brothers and sisters. In the academic societies you belong to, you are brothers and sisters. Now we say go out there and be brothers and sisters of WSU, wherever you go. Those relations that you have established in school, please maintain them beyond these borders. Maintain that bond. Carry it wherever you go. That way you are able to protect and support one another. Go out in the world and be brothers and sisters of WSU. Kutheni nje ndinganiyeki kule ndawo? Ndiniyeke nje ndisithi sinithumela kulizwe leRhabaxa. Ngoku nibizwa ngamagama amatsha. Kuthiwa nizi unemployed graduates. Ndicela ningayitshintshi le mini inidakumbise loo nto. There are opportunities out there for you. Go and grab them. There are people who graduated before you. Abanye mhlambe bakafumana umsebenzi. Let that not discourage you. What you need to do if you graduate as a good policing, be better at it. If you graduated in engineering, be a better engineer. There's a reason why abantu babhenga no ABSA bengabhengi no FNB. There's a reason bethenga Shoprite bengathenga Pick n Pay. It is about the quality of the service in that establishment. So be different. It must be the quality of the graduate in you. Sell something different. Ndithe inganukudakumbisi ezi zinto besizithetha apha. Uyeva ngumalusi wenu andiseli lutho. Enkosi.
Molweni. Molweni. Ninjani? Nami ndiphilile. Igama lam nduProfessor Mashudu Davana Maselesele. Masiari. On behalf of the Chancellor, Dr. Sheila Sisulu, the Chairperson of Council, Advocate Nqukai Toby, the Vice Chancellor and Principal of Walter Sisulu University, Professor Rushila Songa. I'm really honored to give a vote of thanks. Let me start by thanking my employers who are sitting here. Mr. Puti, Council Member, Ms. Ndlazi, Dr. Nabileyo, and Dr. Khete. This is our last day of graduations. And I want to say to council members, we appreciate you. We have seen you since we started. This is the second week that we have been having graduations. And without fail, we had a council representation. We want to thank you. And we appreciate the work that you are doing. Because to us, it shows that indeed we have leaders who are committed for the development of this institution. That note, we appreciate you. Can you applaud them, please? Members of management, IMC and management in general, labor representatives who are present, our staff of Walter Sisulu University, we want to thank you, all of you. We appreciate the work that you've been doing all this time. We are saying, what would we do without you? Look at today. Look at what is happening. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be celebrating this day. Therefore, we thank you, staff members of WSU, and everybody else that I've mentioned. Can you applaud them? To our SRC, student rep, our institutional president and his team, and all students that are represented, we really thank you for the job well done. We appreciate what you are doing. You're leading from the front. We want to say to our pastor, Pastor Nkosinati Bende, yes, you gave us a theme that eventually became a thread across. We want to thank you for connecting us to our Savior, and that you reminded us that we need to make choices, and the choices we make will determine our future. And therefore, you advised us to choose God, our Creator. Thank you for that. To our Vice Chancellor, Professor Rushila Songa, we appreciate your servant leadership, your humility. We really appreciate it. We are indeed appreciating the fact that we are now becoming an impactful, technology-infused African university. If you have brought in a person all the way from Germany to come and develop vaccines for Africans, by Africans, and you are saying nothing for us without us, our woman, let's appreciate our Vice Chancellor, our mother. She could have just decided, though, no, we can leave it. No, we don't want to join Northwest and be part of. But you know what? She realized that we can develop our medical school to be a better space and provide training for our students. Watch the space. Before you know it, some of our students will be going abroad and our lecturers. Guess what? The visionary leader that we have, we really appreciate her. And you reminded us also about choices, that you can become a noisemaker. You know, they say an empty tin makes a lot of sound, and it's nothing. Just make a noise and nothing comes out of it. But she's saying, go and make choices that will eventually build you. Go out and make a difference. And I believe today was just a special day that you got an opportunity of meeting someone who went through the same processes that you went through. So on that note, VC, we want to thank you. Can we applaud her for that? To Professor Diffenhart. Yeah. You know what? We always think problems are only in Africa. We realized that even unemployment was there in Germany 20 years ago. But that did not discourage him from doing medicine. got into that profession and told himself, I'm going to make a difference. I will excel amongst the many that graduated. Here he is. We are now benefiting from what he did. Challenges that we had, he turned them around to our advantage. Look at what is happening now. A vaccine is in the process of being developed. Vaccine for Africans. You know, I was so speechless. When I was listening to the journey he traveled, I said, it's not even different from what we went through as academics, as students, when you go through the process of your studies. But he did not allow any challenges to pull him down. All these challenges were for him, stepping stones for his success. Can we learn something out of it? Can we learn something out of Professor Defenat? We want to thank you, Prof, for availing yourself, traveling all the way to come and receive our honorary doctorate. Can we applaud him? To our Dean, Professor Mbokas, we were talking vaccine. We did not even understand what it meant. But look at you. You simplified, and actually in less than 5 minutes, you gave us a simplified version of what the vaccine is. We all have gone through measles vaccination. We know what a measles vaccination is all about. And as parents, we have taken our children for that vaccination. So it's the same mentality that he brought to us. And we appreciate you, Professor Mbokazi. We are grateful for the work that you are doing for the university. Can we applaud him? To SRC President Batandwa, we have heard you. We listened. We are management that listens, but management that also looks at the reality of our situations. So we are saying to you, Batandwa, thank you for leading by example. Whilst you are walking on the stage here, graduating, I said, gone are the days of ancestors. Gone are the days of leadership that do not progress. We are saying, viva academia, viva. We are saying SRC will lead by an example. And we thank you for that. We appreciate the work that you have done. And you have shared a message to say education should be a bridge to a promised land. And I believe you have listened to what he has said. Let it be indeed a bridge for you to succeed. He also said, let's stand together against gender-based violence. Let us be a generation that fights GBV. And I agree that indeed, if you work together as the youth of this country, surely there's nothing that can beat you. On that note, we thank you so much. I was so touched when I saw you going to hug, I believe it's your mother. And I said, yo, wow, Mama, Bati Jabula. And we really say, indeed, celebrate the great work that you have done for your son. To our council rep, Mr. Put, we want to thank you for availing yourself. He reminded us as guests here that we need to provide internships for our students. And indeed, as Africans and as a country, we need to work together to address the challenges of our time. And I want to say, we thank you very much. You reminded our students that they should never give up. They should also be responsible in building a better society. Go into your the internet and check those jobs and internships. Surely you will get something and be different and make a difference in our society. We want to thank Mr. Put. You know, every time you walk up the stage, you will see him religiously so, clapping hands. Have you seen that? I think you need to applaud him for that. Thank him for that. To the choir. Oh, you look beautiful. Wow. Aye. BCC, you impressed me. I'm still saying we need a competition amongst all the 4 campuses and that we get a winner. And you know, choir, I'm so happy. And we know, as Africans, that we sing when we celebrate. And we also sing when we are sad. So thank you for the sweet melodies. And we continually cherish those sweet melodies. Because now you gave us an opportunity to celebrate. Even those that are not going to celebrate at home, at least you got an opportunity to celebrate here. Thank you very much. To our graduates, did we have any other SRC, former or current SRC member graduating in this session? Can you stand up, those who graduate SRC? Did we? Wow. Well done. Well done. This is what I was saying, that our SRC is leading from the front, that they are role models. Gone are the days of ancestors. We are saying politics together with education, you can do far better, and we appreciate your leadership. Now, before we go, can I request all graduates to stand? You look beautiful. Wow. Wow. I now request you to look at your lecturers, academic staff. Yes. Let me speak on your behalf. Whilst you are standing, looking at your lecturers, I am going to speak on your behalf, and listen. Thank you. On your behalf, you are saying, our lecturers, you took us by your hand. You made us who we are. You became our parents when our parents were not there. You patiently supported us without giving up on us. You showed us the way when there was confusion. And on that note, this day would not have been what it is today if it wasn't for your sacrifice, if it wasn't for your commitment to the cause. We want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts that you made us who we are today. Can you applaud your lecturers? Thank you. While standing, face your family. Look at your family. They are beautiful, aren't they? They are. I will speak on your behalf. Now listen to this. Thank you. As I speak on your behalf, I'm saying to parents, we know as graduates that it takes a village to raise a child. Yes, you did. During emotional challenges, you were there for us. When the going got tough, you gave us your shoulders to lean on. You provided financial support. You gave us the warmth that we needed. On that note, we want to thank you, our family. We want to thank you for everything that you did for us. And as they sit down, they are promising you that they will take care of you. When they get their employment, they will eventually support the family, because charity begins at home. Thank you. Now you can take a seat. To all our guests, we want to thank you. To all our funders, we want to request you to continue funding the good cause. You have seen the fruits of your labor. We also want to encourage you to provide internships for those that have an opportunity to can provide. And I want to say to the organizers of this event, the registrar and his team, MCA and the team, the photographers who are here, the IT team, and those who have been working behind scenes, the security, facilities, your cleaning section, your ushers, and those who provided us with nourishment. We're saying to you, thank you. Thank you for the job well done. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your commitment, because without you, we wouldn't have achieved what we have achieved. as I'm about to sit down, the few announcements that I have to give, we are going to sing the national anthem. And as we do that, as the choir leads us, we will request all of you to stand. The VC has also invited all VIPs and those who are in the procession to join her at the dining hall. We also would request that when the VC dissolve this congregation, we will request you to remain standing until the academic procession has left the hall. Thank you very much.